everyone, I'm Michelle with Designs by JuJu, and in today's video tutorial, we are going to be making the Boo pillow wrap. We're actually going to take a fun spin on this tutorial today because we're going to make our pillow wrap reversible. On one side, we'll be stitching the cozy pillow wrap, and on the other side, we'll have the brand new Boo pillow wrap. This is such a great idea because if you're like me, you have more in the hoop projects than you know what to do. This pillow wrap is designed to go around a 12-inch pillow. There are two sizes included within your purchase, a 5x7 and a 6x10. Both wraps have the same finish length to go around a 12-inch pillow. The difference between the 5x7 and the 6x10 is in the widths and the number of hoopings. These pillow wraps are completely customizable and allow you to add a variety of fun and unique embellishments, including prairie points, trim, jumbo rickrack, and so much more. If you want to make your pillow wrap one-sided, there are instructions included within your purchase in your downloadable PDF. Let's get started.
For the In the Hoop Boo pillow wrap, you will need the following supplies. Fabric, cut according to the supply list listed within your PDF. I'm using some adorable fabric from the Riley Blake Designs collection, including Little Witch, stripes, cotton shades, and confetti cotton solids. No-show mesh cutaway stabilizer, batting, scissors, and embroidery thread. I prefer Floriani for all of my embroidery work. Let's head over to the embroidery machine and let's get stitching. We are over at my embroidery machine and we are ready to begin stitching. So we are going to be stitching the 5x7 Boo pillow in today's tutorial. And I already have my 5x7 hoop loaded onto my machine with my no-show mesh cutaway stabilizer. And the first block that we are going to be stitching is the center block for our pillow, which is the Boo block. So I'm ready to go ahead and run the first stitch, which is going to be the placement line for my batting. Once the placement stitches ran, I'm ready to place my batting directly on top of those placement stitches, smooth it out, and now I'm going to run the tack down stitch to secure my batting in place. Next, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine and trim away the excess batting right along that tack down line, making sure not to trim any of the stitches. Next, I'm going to run the placement line for my middle background fabric. Next, I'm going to place my background fabric directly on top of the placement lines, making sure that all of those stitches are covered. Make sure to reference your PDF included within your purchase for the cut size that you need your fabric. All right, next I'm going to tack down that fabric. Next, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine and I'm going to trim away the excess center fabric. As you can see, I trimmed my center background fabric at a diagonal here, right along the tack down stitch on both sides. So the next stitch that we are going to run is going to be the placement line for my side border fabric. I've just removed my hoop from my machine and I wanted to show you the placement line that I just stitched. So right here, if you see, there are two stitches. This first stitch is the tack down stitch for our background fabric here, our center background fabric. And the second stitch that's on the innermost portion is the placement line for our border background fabric. So I'm going to place my hoop back on my machine. And we're ready to stitch down our border fabrics here. So I'm going to take whatever fabric I have chosen and I'm going to place it right side facing down. And I want to make sure that that placement line is completely covered. I am going to place this fabric parallel to the placement line, and then I'm going to run the tack down stitch that is going to secure this background fabric in place. So I have it right side facing down, right sides are together. Now that this fabric is secured from the tack down stitch, I'm going to take this fabric and I'm going to flip it and press the seam so the right side is facing up. And now I'm going to stitch it down. So we call this the flip and stitch method. So this next stitch is going to tack down a border along the outside of our border fabric. Next, I'm going to repeat these exact same steps for the second border side. Now that both of my border fabric pieces are tacked down, I'm ready to stitch the applique portion of this block. I'm going to go ahead and do my applique work off camera. If you have never done applique work, make sure to reference the PDF included within your purchase, as well as the video linked in the description box below. Now that all of my applique fabric is tacked down, I'm ready to return my hoop to my machine and run all of the satin and decorative stitches. I'm going to do those stitches off camera and we'll check back in when this is complete. My center boo block is complete and it turned out adorable. So now I'm gonna head over to my table and we're gonna finish this block off. Okay, so we're over at my table and we're ready to finish off this block. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the excess stabilizer. And I like to use my trimmer by George and a rotary cutter to do this step. And then once all of my excess stabilizer is removed, I'm going to use a straight edge ruler and again my rotary cutter, and I'm going to leave a 1/2 inch border, a 1/2 inch fabric excess from the outside stitch line all the way around the entire block. And there's my completed block. So let's head back over to the embroidery machine and we'll stitch the next block. We are once again over at my embroidery machine and I have my 5x7 hoop with my no-show mesh cutaway stabilizer on it. And we are going to stitch the crosshatch block for this next step. I am going to need 4 of these exact same blocks for the 5x7 pillow. So I'm ready to go ahead and run the first stitch, which is going to be the placement line for my batting. Next, I'm going to place my batting directly on top of those stitches, making sure that they're all covered, and I'm going to run the tack down to secure my batting in place. Next, I'm going to remove my hoop from my machine, and I'm going to trim away the excess batting right along the tack down stitches. Now that I have my excess batting trimmed away, I'm going to place my background fabric directly on top of the batting. Again, making sure that all of those tack down stitches are completely covered. And I'm going to run the tack down to secure my background fabric in place. And the final stitch for this block is the decorative crosshatch quilting. So I'm going to run that off camera and then this block will be complete. And that's it. This block is complete. So I'm going to repeat these exact same steps 3 additional times. And if you're stitching the 5x7 size like me, you'll also want to stitch 1/2 crosshatch block. All right, I'm going to finish this block off just like I did the boo block. I'm going to remove the excess stabilizer and I'm going to trim a 1/2 inch border around this block. And then we will be ready to start the assembly process once I finish stitching the remaining blocks within this pillow.
Once you have all of your blocks stitched, we're ready to start the assembly process. So you should have 1 boo block, 4 of the 5x7 crosshatch, and again, if you're making the 5x7 size, you need 1 of the 1/2 crosshatch blocks. So I am going to go ahead and lay out my blocks for how I'm going to stitch them together. And I'll actually turn it sideways just so you can see what this is going to look like a little bit easier. So I'll have 2 of the larger crosshatches, 1 on each side of the boo block in the center. And then I'll have my 1/2 crosshatch down at the bottom. Now, if you're doing the 6x10 size, you just have 4 of the crosshatch and the main boo block. Once I have my pillow layout ready, I'm going to start assembling the blocks. So I'm going to first start with these top 2 crosshatch blocks. I am going to take the first crosshatch block and flip it so the right sides are together. Next, I am going to align the outermost stitching. So if you remember when we did this block, we had the tack down for our batting, and then we had the tack down for our fabric. So there are 2 stitch lines here. I am going to line up that outermost stitch line, which is the tack down for my fabric. And you can either use pins to secure this. I prefer to use sewing clips because it's just a little bit easier for me to manipulate. But I'm just going to go right along the entire block, lining up those outermost tack down stitches and clipping as I go. Now we are ready to head over to the sewing machine, and we're going to stitch just inside that outermost tack down line. I'm over here at my sewing machine, and I have already dropped my needle again right inside that outermost tack down line. And now I'm just going to run a stitch to secure these 2 blocks in place. If I have done this step correctly, when I unfold my blocks, they should be lined up just like so, and we should not see any of those tack down lines, this outermost tack down line in the middle. All right, so I'm going to repeat the same process for the remaining blocks. Now that my first 2 crosshatch blocks are stitched together, I'm going to press open these seams using an iron, and then I will be ready to add my next block, which is going to be my boo block. If you are wanting to add a trim or prairie points to this outer boo block, now is the time to do that. So you would sandwich those, sandwich whatever your trim is. I'm going to use this cute fringe trim for mine, but you'll sandwich it, and then you will stitch it again in the outermost tack down line. And then when you unfold it and press open your seam, you'll have your cute trim or whatever you're choosing to add here. You could use some jumbo rickrack, like fringe like I'm using, a traditional trim, prairie points, anything that you want to add, you can do that at this point right now. I've just repeated those same steps to completely assemble my boo pillow wrap. As you can see, I added some trim around my main boo block, and then I have 2 of the quilted blocks here, 2 quilted here, and then a half quilted at the bottom because again, I am making the 5x7 size. If you are wanting to make your pillow wrap the traditional method with a backing, now is the time that you would do that. Make sure to reference the PDF included within your purchase for specific steps on how to do that. For today's tutorial, I'm actually going to make my boo pillow wrap 2-sided. So I've already assembled my cozy pillow wrap, and now I am going to put these 2 pillow wraps together using some binding. I went ahead and stitched both sides of my pillows together right along that outer stitch line, and I left a 1/4 inch trim. So now I'm ready to use my fold over bias tape. I have my fold over bias tape clipped right here along the seams, and I have my corner ready to go. If you have never used bias tape, or if you are unsure, make sure that you check the description box below. I will have a blog post linked for lots of great binding tips. And if you're still needing some help, make sure to do a little bit of additional research. You can find some great YouTube tutorials out there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this stitched on, and then we'll see how it looks. I have the first half of my bias tape stitched on, and so now I'm going to flip it around like so. I have my bias tape clipped, and it's folded over on both sides. So now I'm ready to run a stitch to secure the bias tape. My bias tape is stitched on. So here's the boo side and here's the cozy side. It looks so great. And I did go ahead and coordinate my thread so that the front side matched the back, so that my bobbin thread matched my top thread. So the final step is going to be to add our buttonhole. So we're going to head back over to the embroidery machine. There are many ways that you can finish your pillow wrap. If you want to add some ribbon or Velcro, there's tons of options. So you can decide what works best for you, but I am going to show you how to do the buttonhole in case that is the option that you're looking to try. So let's head over to the embroidery machine. To stitch the buttonhole, you will want to hoop some tearaway stabilizer. So I already have that in my 5x7 hoop. And the first stitch is going to be the placement line for my pillow wrap. Next, choose on your pillow where you want your buttonholes. I'm going to add mine on that half quilted piece, and I'm going to line it up. Now, since I have the binding on mine, I do have a little excess fabric, so it's not going to fit perfectly inside of the pillow, but I am going to line it up the best I can with those placement lines. And then I'm going to secure it using some paper medical tape. All right, so the pillow wrap is just sitting right on top of your stabilizer. I've just secured mine using the paper medical tape, and I'm ready to run the buttonhole stitches. And the buttonholes are complete. Once you're back over at your table, remove the paper medical tape. And if you've used a tearaway stabilizer, this should just pull right off. There's your tearaway, your excess. And that's what it looks like from the back side. So super easy. I'm going to trim these little thread tails. And then I'm going to open my buttonhole using a seam ripper. I just poke it through and push it. Just make sure not to cut any of your stitches. Go slow. Now that my buttonholes are stitched, I'm going to hand stitch on these buttons, and then our pillow wrap will be complete. My pillow wrap is complete. So here is the boo side, and then we can flip it through. And there's the cozy side. Isn't that fun? I love that it is two-sided, and so I only have to keep track of one pillow wrap in my house. And there's the buttonholes. Looks so nice. And of course, on the back side, when you flip it, the buttonholes are hidden by the fabric. We've just finished stitching the In the Hoop Boo pillow wrap, and it turned out so cute. As you can see, I added some adorable trim as my embellishments, but there are so many other ways that you could customize this pillow to make it your own. I also made mine reversible, and I have the cozy pillow wrap on the other side. In today's tutorial, I walked you through the steps for how to make the Boo pillow as well as the quilted pillow blocks. I also showed you how you can add binding to make your pillow reversible or two-sided. Again, if you're wanting to make your pillow wrap the traditional way, make sure to reference your PDF included with your purchase. This pillow is going to look so cute this Halloween. I cannot wait to put it out with the rest of my decor. I hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. Make sure to check the description box below for lots of helpful links. Also, make sure to join the Designs by JuJu Blessings Facebook group where you'll find more tips, tricks, and inspiration. There are tons of these adorable pillow wraps floating around from our wonderful customer fan base. Don't forget to subscribe. We hope to see you soon. Happy stitching!